Okay, time to put these brushes to the test. I've got some canvas panels taped up here, and we're going to have a look at a few typical brush strokes that I'm going to use, and then I'm going to do a painting, and we'll have a look at a few clips of that later on. So a quick look at the palette that I'm using. I'm going to show you a bit of toning of the canvas using the Skyflow. Okay, to tone the canvas, I'm going to use a bit of burnt sienna. I'm actually going to put a little bit of red in there. I want a warm tone because I'm going to be using quite a lot of green on top of it for foliage, so I'm going to have a sort of complementary color to tone the canvas. Bit of medium on the brush, drag in the paint that I'm going to tone it, get it nice and loose. You're obviously going to use as much medium and paint as you need for the size canvas. So I've mixed up some light yellows, and I just want to get placement of that. So with the filbert brush, very easy to do. Get those shapes in. Always have tissue paper handy to wipe off excess paint. You will notice working on the palette, I usually, during painting, I simply mix on the palette with the brush I'm going to use. And continuing with the lightest lights, getting those down. So these brush strokes, small, deliberate, with lots of paint. You notice lots of paint on the brush. Put that down. Leave it alone. As far as possible, don't flatten your brush strokes. Scoop up some nice volume of paint. Put your marks down. You can adapt as you go, obviously, but as far as possible, you don't want to lose that spontaneous brush stroke. So yeah, once again with the filbert, nice shape to model organic shapes with that. Using that shape of the brush to good effect. The long flat, as you can see, more square shapes, and they cover a lot of the canvas very quickly. The small long flat, size 4, but even so, even when I'm doing small shapes, I like to put in a good volume of paint. So you'd get those strokes down. And the versatility of the long flat, turn the brush on the side, you get a nice thin line, drag it along, and you can get a large variety, dab shapes, wet over wet, you notice you can go over the existing wet paint. If you use one careful stroke, you're not going to mix in. If you do keep dabbing away and blending away, now you've made a muddy color, and that's not really going to help you. So you can work comfortably wet into wet if you put your brush stroke down and leave it alone. Then the next one, join up with it or next to it, and then you can paint an entire painting wet into wet without creating mud. The fine rigger brush, drag lines. So if I'm doing yacht rigging, for instance, or the mast of a yacht, I'm not going to use a ruler or anything else. I'm just going to move upwards. And if you kind of look where your destination's going to be, you start here, you know you want to end there, so look there and just drag your hand. You can always make corrections, but far better to get a loose shape than one that is mechanically perfect. So you can do your rigging, etc. So you can see it can make fairly wide stroke as well. This is only a number 2 sable rigger, and extremely fine lines as well. So having a rigger on hand is a versatile brush to have, and of course you can sign your name at the end. A couple of nice brush strokes to keep in mind is scumbling, something I always encourage artists to do. So you would scumble with a lot of thick paint over a fairly dry surface. Hold brush parallel to the painting surface and just drag it along, and you get that broken color. Alright, so that can suggest grass, it can show the colors beneath it, etc. So what I find with these brushes is they pick up a nice amount of paint. You can put down a good thick bit of paint and get that nice texture that I so look forward to creating. Brush straight back to shape, keeping the interlocking brushes sticking together nicely, and you can get a good brush mark as well. Rani described these Georgian brushes as student quality paint brushes. Having said that, they are a huge step up from the typical paint brushes you're going to find in local art stores. Personally, I was impressed with these brushes, and so far I think I'll be using them on a regular basis. It'll be interesting to see how they hold up over a few months of use. But first impressions are that they are an excellent student quality paintbrush. So if you are looking for a better painting experience, I do believe that good paintbrushes will be a real upgrade in your painting experience. And you can try these out, and I'm sure you won't be disappointed. As I've mentioned, these brushes are reasonably priced for the quality that you're getting. And something that we South African artists have been deprived of for a long time is a good brush at a good price. So try them out, and you can find them at artsavingsclub.co.za or in a local art store, good art store in your area. In the next part of this paintbrush series, we'll be looking at acrylic brushes, so look out for that coming up.